I'm Matt McGillicuddy from Infinity.
Matt, we're hearing so much about AI. It seems to be a bit of a buzzword around, but it is much more than that. How's AI actually helping dealerships sell more cars? And is it just about leveraging my data to do better? And if so, what data actually matters?
Yeah, I mean, AI is having a massive effect on the whole sales journey, from top to bottom of the funnel, through every sort of dealership. I think there are a lot of misconceptions where people go, actually, it's just about helping us process some data a little bit more quickly, or on the opposite end of that spectrum, actually, it's this magic silver bullet that's going to sell cars automatically, which just isn't the case. The best way to think about any AI technology and any AI-powered tools is that it's there to help augment and accelerate existing process. It's not going to do things for you. It's not going to magically shift stock. But what it can do is it can help you operate much more effectively at every stage through that funnel. It's transformative, the impact that it's having on that pipeline.
And it helps my team, doesn't it? It's not going to do away with my salespeople. It augments them and actually helps them do a better job.
100%. I mean, even from when I think about it from a marketing point of view, the tools available just help speed that work up significantly. I've seen some fantastic things, when I look at the data year on year, and in some instances, the best marketing teams are actually reducing the amount of time that they're spending producing adverts and going to market and distributing comms by 65-70%, which, as you can imagine, is a massive amount of money saved when we think about the return on bringing people into the pipeline and into showrooms. But also, you're right, from a sales agent point of view, the way that AI can help give structure to data and give insight and deliver that very quickly, even down to things like prompting people when they're on a telephone call to be able to say the next best action or understand how they can improve their process. It's a real game changer. Ultimately, everybody wins. The car buyer gets a better experience. The process at getting that car buyer into the showroom's more efficient, and then ultimately for the sales team, understanding how to convert more deals is an awesome way of boosting commission, right, on paychecks. And I can't actually think of a downside and why you wouldn't want to embrace AI.
So dealerships that that are currently using AI to maybe a limited extent, what are they finding which parts of the business are benefiting the most from using maybe a little bit of AI in their business?
So I think in terms of the parts of the business that benefit the most from using AI, that's I wouldn't say there is one particular pocket or one particular function. When we think about the way that technology can be used, even in simple use cases in terms of helping people prep for meetings internally, all the way to the more exotic stuff when we see some of the stuff that the OEMs are doing at the minute in terms of improving that car buyer journey. It's very broad for me, where I think the biggest opportunity is improving that sales and marketing process, really driving showroom visits and making sure we get the outcomes that we want. One of the misconceptions that I think people have and why people potentially still get frustrated when they try to adopt the technology is they expect it to work in isolation for them. And actually, there's a learning curve that you need to go on to make that happen. And when people embrace the technology and really understand that it's there to augment an existing system or a process, that's when it flies.
So are you seeing that there are quite a few dealerships that obviously are thinking about it and maybe waiting to start, which is always a stumbling block, isn't it? Is not starting because you're worried about the cost or doing it incorrectly. What would you say to somebody that might be listening to you today and wondering, how do I get started? What's the right way and what's stopping people getting started?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the hesitancy, and it's still, obviously, we're a lot more familiar with this type of tech now than we were 3-4 years ago. But don't wait is the message. I think that the thing for me, this is as transformative and as disruptive as the internet, as social media. This is fundamentally changing the way people buy cars, and this therefore means we have to change the way we sell cars. And the more of a head start we let our competitors have and other people in the space have, the harder it is to close that gap. So what I would always recommend is invest time in learning how to incorporate the technology and use it properly, but also measure what are we trying to do with that technology. If we're using it to build top of funnel and build leads and pull better quality leads into the pipeline, understand how to do that and what measures we should be looking at in terms of like lead quality and volume. And if we're looking at using it to accelerate how well we're handling inquiries when people ring up, think about how we're impacting average handling times, close rates on calls, and just test. You have to accept that you're not going to get these things right first time necessarily, but what we can do is test at pace. And we can gather data at a greater pace than we've been able to, and process data at a greater volume than we've been able to. The key is testing.
So you're saying this is as big as the internet, and that's huge. What's the future looking like from your point of view, and for the industry, and how should I, as somebody in the motor trade, try and find out more about this? It's something I really need to pay attention to.
Absolutely, and I don't think we should think about this as a future thing. I think we all need to realise this is happening now, and some of the stuff that we would sometimes even think is science fiction and hey, this is impossible, or wouldn't it be wonderful if, it can be done now, or large parts of it can be done now. So when I think about the way that some dealerships are even using the AI in our platform, they've been able to drive 300% more sales conversion, sales inquiries, just by using this technology to process high intent data from phone calls and fuel bidding algorithms, because AI is very hungry. We know it needs high quality data in volume. Once they've got those processes set up and you learn that's the secret, that the results are phenomenal, improving the amount of conversions, lowering the cost of conversions. There's some brilliant things, and it's only going to get better and better and better. So when I think about some of the clever stuff that we're doing now currently, and even down to things that you would think are very simple, like understanding, hey, if somebody rings up to inquire about a vehicle, if that person's showing high intent but they don't convert, they don't come in and book a test drive, or they don't pay a deposit, a reservation fee, imagine if we could tell you why those good leads aren't converting. Now that for me seems like sci-fi stuff, but it's happening now.